Hi, I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach, and this is the Organize Your Life podcast. I am passionate about organizing because it makes my clients' lives so much easier, more relaxed, and with more time to spend the way they want to. That's what organizing is all about, not about being neat or having the right containers. It's about getting more time for what matters to you. My specialty is chunking down this big topic so it's not overwhelming. That's the concept behind my book, 5 Minutes to a Relaxing Bedroom. And that's the concept for this podcast, too, which is based on my first book, 52 Simple Ways to Get Organized. Both books are available on my website and on Amazon. I work with clients in person in the Berkeley, California area and via email and Skype, so you don't have to be local to work with me. With my help, your home will become a place you love and welcome guests into. Your office will be a place for being energized and productive. Visit the Hire tab on my website or email me at claire@cluttercoach.net. In every podcast, I'll lay out a simple organizing concept and tell you why it's important. And I'll include an action step at the end so you can start practicing right away. Okay, here we go.
Today's podcast is based on simple way number 33, and it's called Make Decisions, Then Take Action. Decision-making is useless unless you take the action you decided on. Organizers often say that clutter is the result of delayed decision-making. That's true, but it's important to realize that making your decision reality is a big part of that. The decision alone is not enough. So don't be like the client I saw the other day who has a whole 2-car garage full of stuff that's been earmarked for charity, but it's still in the garage. And it has been for over 6 months. That ain't progress, people. It's just a decision. It's not the action part. Here's another fun example that I found on Skip Pritchard's blog about leadership. He writes, I have a simple math question for you. 5 frogs are sitting on a log. 4 of the frogs decide to jump off. How many frogs are left? Did you answer 1? The correct answer is still 5. This is because there's a difference between deciding and doing. Those 4 frogs only made a decision. They didn't take the action. But you're not a frog. You're going to start jumping, right? Let's talk about how to do that. Now, if you're a worrier or a perfectionist, types I talked about back in podcast 26, you may have special issues with decisions. You may second-guess yourself or devise elaborate worst-case scenarios that keep you from acting. But realize this, you often won't know if you made the right choice until you act on it. Going through all the alternatives in your head is worthwhile, and it can guide you in the right direction, but it's no substitution for action. Here's the thing, when you take action, you move things forward, and not just that one little thing you acted on. Your action has effects that you don't control and you can't predict. I know that's starting to sound a little woo-woo, but think about it. How many times have you been in a situation where you said, if I hadn't done X, Y never would have happened? Sometimes it's meeting somebody, you went somewhere, you met someone, had a conversation, and a whole series of things occurred because of that. Of course, it's not always going to be a positive outcome, but only taking action will show you if you're on the wrong track. You'll get critical information from that, and new options will arise that weren't there before, or that you had no reason to pay attention to them before. Decision-making is still in your head. Action is the reflection of that decision out here in the real world. Remember, you can't hide by not making a decision, because there are consequences to inaction as well as to action. All you procrastinators out there thinking you're safe because you haven't committed to anything yet, not true. When you don't act, what often happens is you find yourself doing damage control later. Here's a great quotation from Theodore Roosevelt. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing. And the worst thing you can do is nothing. So you see, not making a decision is also a decision. It's important not to confuse this with deciding that something's not worth your time or effort. Specifically deciding not to do something is a skill that I talked about in podcast 34. That one was about the not-to-do list. What I'm talking about here is when you hold the decision at arm's length and dither over it. You might take action, you might not. You're waiting for something else to happen first, whatever it is. You're not taking a firm stand. Don't do that. Take control of your life and make your own decisions. What you can do right now? Think of something you've been hesitant to decide on for flimsy reasons. Maybe worrying that you don't have enough information, for example. Ditch that excuse, because you'll never have enough information, and the time will never be right. Just decide, and as soon as possible, act on that decision.
Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach. If you like the show, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review in iTunes. You can subscribe, too, so the podcast will be ready and waiting for you to listen to. The show is available on SoundCloud and Stitcher as well. You'll find the show notes on my blog at www.cluttercoach.net, and you can check out my store to find books I've written and books and products I recommend, and some freebies, too. I work with folks in their homes and offices to bust clutter and get them organized so they can stay that way easily. Get in touch and find out how I can help you. I'm in Berkeley, California, and you can reach me at claire@cluttercoach.net. Come back for more next week.